What is up, everybody? This is RybackStun. We are here on the main Marvel Heroes server. I'm here today to do a guide build kind of ish video for one of the characters that I've been playing fairly recently, which is Scarlet Witch. You'll notice I'm in the Wiccan costume. This was gifted to me by Kona Gold on a stream on Wednesday the 26th, so I very much appreciate that from Kona Gold. But to the regular build itself, I'm actually using another player's build as a base and then have modified it myself. But below you'll be able to find as a link the original build to Cineris's endgame Scarlet Witch build. So, one of the things I think we differ is his costume. But there's Wiccan. So we have a couple things we're going to go over really quickly. We'll go through each window as we can. In terms of powers, we've got 5 maxed powers in Decimation, 2 maxed powers in Negation, and 1 maxed power in Disruption. So right off the bat, we've got 20 points in Chaos Rift, we've got 20 points in Chaotic Hex, we've got 20 points in Chaos Magic, we've got 20 points in Hex Sphere, we've got 20 points in Beasts from Beyond, we have 20 points in Unmake Reality, which is the signature, 20 points in Obfuscation, and 20 points in Ravenous Binding. Now, the build specifically states that you should put a point in Bewitching Hex and Bewildering Hex. This is a good idea if you want to play those types of build. You need to get Spirit back fairly quickly, or you want to confuse a bunch of people in addition to having your other CC options with your Chaos Rift or your signature. But I like putting the extra points in Chaos Warp because it's another source of damage if I feel lazy. It does give me an additional damage percentage negation while it's active, and it can restore a bunch of health. So, otherwise, everything's pretty much the same. Your single target damage dealer is both Hex Sphere and Chaotic Hex. Your AoE area of effect abilities are Beasts from Beyond, Chaos Rift, and Ravenous Binding, and your big damage on bosses for buff is Unmake Reality, and your big clear, auto clear is Unmake Reality. And then there's the signature, which the ultimate, which I don't have any points in because I haven't played Scarlet Witch all that much. But I have her specifically built as a content clear because she's really good at it. In terms of Omegas, I only have 5,200 Omegas right about now. I'm going to do the ones that I specifically have for myself. Right off the bat, 5 out of 5 points in Legion. It's one of the best powers you can give to her because she can get just so much stuff based off of the proc for her Unmake Reality, which increases the chances of your next 10 proc effects from triggering, including making it to 100%, including effects from items. So some points into Shadow King's Possession works. You want to have, I take 10 points in Cerebro because losing the defense rating means basically nothing since she's just she heals up very quickly and she kills things very quickly, so defense is almost worthless to her. It gives me 600 damage rating at 10 ranks. At some point I'd like to put this at 20 ranks, but 10 ranks is really good right now. I have 1 point in Guilt Suppression for the extra Brutal Strike and the Spirit when you defeat an enemy. I also have, 8 ranks, but you can go 5 ranks in Warpath. I have 6 ranks in Chamber and 1 rank in Professor X. Professor X, when you use a mental power, you gain 1% base damage to mental attacks for every 50 points of maximum spirit partial credit is awarded. So I have 667 Neighbor of the Beast. So every 50 puts that at 12%, 13, so about 14%. With Professor X, and I do have an additional 6% from Chamber, and then obviously the one that everybody uses, which is Spin Tech, 10 out of 10 there, and that's all that really matters out of the Omegas for now. So basically you want Spin Tech, Cerebro, Professor X, 5 in Warpath, and Legion. Those are the ones that you want to start with. In terms of Hero Synergies, I'm using Cable for critical chance, Doctor Strange for mental damage, Ghost Rider for mental crit, Jean Grey for mental damage, Loki for slowed targets and spirit cost reduction, Psylocke for mental damage, Squirrel Girl for boss damage, Vision for range damage and robot damage, Winter Soldier for range damage, and Wolverine for brute strike chance and brutal damage. Now in terms of gear, I've made a couple different choices and I've done things differently. But right off the bat, Uru is a Heartbreaker. A lot of people use God of Mischief, but because that eats up proc on the ultimate, and I like to try to have as much focused into Legion as possible, I decided to just go with Heartbreaker. The 200 Brute Strike, critical hit, brute damage, and critical damage is really good on an 800 defense. Uru really helps. Relic of Xandar is what I use. Atlantis is recommended, but I use my Atlantis on my main, which is Doom. We have a Sharabus Neotim, which gives brutal strike damage, critical hit, brutal damage, crit damage, percent chance when you hit with a mental power to gain attack speed. When you use a signature power, you summon Mayhem demons, and then those demons get summon ally damage. This is pretty good because it gives you a lot of damage stats, as well as a chance to gain attack speed, which is helpful for her. It allows you to hit more often with your Chaotic Hex. Next, we have Blessed Taskmaster's Fighting Guide for Losers. All of these are healers, by the way. I use this basically for the crit hit on range damage, the base damage, and then the base damage versus bosses. I have a Blessed Mayhem Demon Blood. This is almost as good as, I forget what the big mental item is that people use, but I'm basically using this because it has, I'm using a physical damage one, apparently. So I'm using physical damage. It's supposed to be mental damage. I must have misread this when I did it. Doesn't matter. It has health. It has, 12% chance when you deal damage to stack Bloodlust. At 10 stacks, you gain 2 fighting and 2 speed. That is supposed to be mental damage. I'll fix that at some other time. And instead of running a Gawk, I'm actually running an Essence of Dread. And I feel that this is different because I don't need the other brutal stats. I get that elsewhere. I do still get crit hit, but I get mental damage as well, which is the most important part. I'm running a level 70 Gungnir. As soon as I get 1,000 Odin marks, I'll probably end up switching over to a level 80 Warlock's Eye. I'm running a Bloodstone Demon Band with mental damage, brutal strike rating, energy, defense, and health. At some point in time, I'd like to replace this with a level 60 high roll mental ICP ring. I'm running her Gloves of Infinite Entropy slot 1, Mark of the Nexus being slot 2, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants Cape slot 3, Royal Genosian Slippers slot 4, and Sithonic Headdress slot 5. I have an Insignia of Wasp with crit damage and health. I still need to roll crit damage on my costume, but I have regen 25% of my health and invulnerable when I use medkit. And then my Shrunken Cow is not finished. I need to change some things up, but I do have 3 fighting on it. Eventually I'm going to go for the base health, the spirit, likely the brutal damage, and then plus points to mental powers if I can. Otherwise, maybe just ranged. So I'm using Pirate Deadpool, but the team-up doesn't really matter all that much. Let's go ahead and show you what's going on. I'm just going to run a Cosmic Curse really quick. Is Curse the right one to do? Yeah, let's do it. Fairly easy, the build. It just runs really quickly. For your AoE situations, you want to drop your Beasts from the Beyond to increase vulnerability to Chaos damage, and then drop Chaos Rift, which also has a 10% chance to knock out enemies straight up. You can use Chaotic Hex to just kind of increase the splash damage for everybody else. If you're running out of health, just run a quick Chaos Warp, and you'll restore your health fairly quickly in a fairly easily in a fairly quickly matter. That's not really the right word, but you understand what I mean. So here's one of our enemies. You can use Hex Sphere on gold mobs that need to take more damage in order to kill them. So that's how that works. I can just quickly run through here and do a Chaos Warp and knock out a bunch of damage fairly quickly. And you'll notice that Wiccan's stuff is blue instead of pink or red, which I think is really cool. One of the reasons why I really like the costume. I have my stuff set up in such a way that I can just hit S and then right-click for my AoE drops fairly quickly, and then D for the Ravenous Binding to increase the health that I'm restoring as I'm fighting enemies. So, it's all fairly quick stuff. And then now we get up to Curse himself after teleporting through to the area. Same thing. I try to fire off 3 Hex Spheres, so I use all my Chaos Energy, and then activate the signature to blow up a bunch of people, so I can fire 3 more Hex Spheres in fairly quick succession, because they do the maximum Chaos damage when you activate your signature. So, we're going to just run through Curse here fairly quickly, and there is your Cosmic Curse kill, which he didn't really drop anything of evidence. So, that is pretty much Scarlet Witch, or in this case, Wiccan. Fairly simple build. It's one of the more popular builds. It utilizes more decimation than it does disruption, but there is a disruption build out there if that's something you would like to do. I like the ease of access to be able to just kill anything and everything that I want. Unmake Reality just blows things away. It kills pretty much every standard minion that's out there. It doesn't kill bosses, and there are some minions that are tagged and vulnerable to it. You won't be able to use it, but it will allow you to get in there, decimate a bunch of people, and then proc a bunch of Legion procs. So, which I actually didn't get much of anything. That's fairly interesting. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, you can, in exchange for something that you want to do differently, you can drop Chaos Warp to your second bar and put Reality Implosion on your main bar, so you can use Reality Implosion to warp everybody into an area, and then, boom, hit the signature to knock them all out quickly, and even drop the Chaos Rift before you do that to get a chance to eliminate them beforehand. Or in the opposite order, you Reality Implosion, then Unmake Reality, then Chaos Rift anybody that's left. And hopefully that should destroy everybody. But that's Scarlet Witch / Wiccan. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did showcasing it to you. Remember to like and comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Tumblr at RybackStun. More videos as they come along. And with that, this is RybackStun, signing out.